Okay, so this one is exponential growth because you're putting money into the bank. The equation you want to use here is y equals, a equals. I looked up the wrong one. And these are on the board, by the way. The equations. So this is the equation I want to use. The problem tells me I start off with $6,000, that's P. It earns 2.4% interest, so as a decimal, that's 0.024. It wants me to find how much money I have after 4 years, so my time is 4. And compounded quarterly, how many quarters are in a year? 4. So I'm going to plug in all those numbers.
Is that Y, D?
Yeah. For interest, yes. Oh, hold on, I'm not ready for that. How is it confusing, Jerry? Yes. Manny, what did you say the answer was? How did I what? Yeah. And is how often it's compounded. So it said it was compounded quarterly, so that was 4. And then the T is the time in years. Yeah. The same number? No. It just happened this way. Is how often a year it happens. Yes. Yes. So in our next problem, it'd be 1. It would only be compounded at most a year. Because it's how many times per year. So then on number 2, my P is 3,500. My R is 0.015. My time is 3. And compounded monthly, how many months in a year? 12. Yeah, what about it? Is it on this review guide?
What's N equals 4? Oh.
N. I meant to do N. Okay, so questions on 1 or 2? Okay, numbers 3 and 4 are simplifying each expression that have E in them. To simplify, I treat E like a variable, so I just have to simplify like I normally would. What is 45 divided by 5? 9. And then with my E's, I subtract the exponents. 5 minus 3 is 2. And that's just my answer. Questions on number 3? Yes. Sorry. I meant to go back and fix that and I forgot. Okay. So on number 4, they're multiplying together, so I multiply the big numbers. 5 times 3 is 15, and then I add my exponents. 2 plus 4 is 6. Questions on 3 or 4? Okay, number 5, how would I rewrite it in logarithmic form? Not 2. Not 25. 5. It's always the base of the exponent that goes down there. Yep. No. Yeah. 5 is subscript.
Oh, that's what you call it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then how would I rewrite number 6? Log base 381 equals what? Mm-hmm. Questions on 5 or 6? What do you mean solve them? It's just rewriting. If you had to solve them, yes, but if there's already all numbers and no variables, there's no solving. This question literally says rewrite. Okay. Number 7 says to simplify the expression. Remember, I told you e and ln are inverses of each other. So e to the ln, that part cancels out, and all I'm left with is 3x. Number 8 is log base 5 to the 4x. So what's going to happen here? Everything? The log base 5 and 5 cancel out, and I'm just left with the exponent, so the 4x. Because it's the it's what's left over. Because e and ln are inverses of each other. It's the same as if I'm like multiplying 5 by 1/5. Those cancel out. 1. But this one has a log base. Yeah, it equals whatever the number is, unless there's no number, then it's 10. Okay. Number 9 wants me to find the inverse of a function. I've told you ln is the inverse of e. So literally, my inverse function is y equals ln of x. On number 10, what's the inverse of log with no base? 10. So it's going to be 10 to the x exponent. Because logarithms are the inverse of exponential functions. If there's no tiny number, yes. If there was a tiny number, then that would have been... So like over here, 5, it would have been, yeah, if there's subscript. If this had been log 5x, then it would have been 5 to the x power for my answer. I don't think so. It would have been 5 to the x as the answer. Okay. Number 11 and 12 on the back is writing a rule. They have 2 changes. The first is reflecting on this one, and the second one is shifting 3 units left. So my first change, to reflect in the x-axis, just means a negative out front. I actually wanted that in red to show what I changed. And then shifting 3 units left goes where? Positive 3, but where? Yep, on the x. No, if it was up and down, it would have been, yeah. Left and right always go with x. Yeah, it's multiply it out and then you put parentheses. Yeah. So my g of x here is going to be negative 4 to the x plus 3. How'd I get what? Yeah, the x-axis is the negative And the 3 units left is the plus 3 and the exponent. Yes. Well, if it's left or right, it's the exponent. If it's... yeah, it's outside. Can I move on to number 12? Mm-hmm. Okay. So number 12 has a log base. This one is reflected in the y-axis and then shifted 2 units down. So when it's shifted in the y-axis, that goes with the x. And I'm going to put a parenthesis here. Questions on my first change? Negative in front of the x. Because if it was reflection on the x-axis, it would go out in front of the word long. Okay, then my second change is... what is it? My hand's going. 2 units down, so minus 2 at the end. Outside of the parentheses. No. I just can't write in a straight line. Yeah, I would, if it said 2 units right or left, it would go inside the parentheses. You have to write it with g of x because the instructions that are on the other side of the paper say write the new rule for g of x. In front of log. Any other questions on the rules? Okay. It wants me for numbers 13 and 14 to expand the logarithm. Remember, multiplication is adding and division is subtraction. So I'm going to write log base 3. I'm going to split it between my top and bottom first. So I have 4x cubed and then minus log base 3y. So all I've done so far is get rid of the fraction. Then I want to split this up more because it's still got multiplication in it. So I'm going to have log base 3, 4, plus log base 3 x cubed minus log base 3y. Is that good enough? So then, why is it not good, Stephanie? Yep. Whenever I have an exponent, it has to go out front, and because this exponent only affects the x, it should only go in front of the log with the x. I told you, like 5 or 6 of the questions are multiple choice, and there's 11 questions. These ones are less. The expanding and condensing are. Okay, so then I want to do the same thing for number 14. Even though it says ln, it works the same way. I split fractions with subtraction. Why did I write log? Because it's broken. Okay. Can I split it up more? That's what I wrote. Yep. Yes. Or whatever it is, ln or log. Expanding does not change to exponential. You only change to e when it's asking for inverse or rewriting. Because you always want it so you don't have exponents. Because it looks kind of weird. If you look at this, it looks weird. It looks like 3x cubed, 3 to the x 2 cubed, and it just looks weird. So you just want it on those ones. That don't look so weird. Okay. So on 15 and 16, I'm condensing, so I'm going the opposite way. What do I want to do first? No. Yeah, so I want to move my exponents back where they belong and on top of the number variable. So it's going to be log 4 squared minus log x cubed. Do I know what log 4 squared is? I mean, do I know what 4 squared is? What is it? Which is... Okay. Yeah, if I know what it simplifies to, I have to. Do you guys agree? You think this is my answer? Yeah, log 16 over x cubed. I only want to write the word log once when I'm condensing. That's like I'm doing the opposite of the top one. I'm working backwards. Yeah, because 4 squared turned into 16. Because it's raining. Okay, so number 16, what should I do? So I move my exponents back where they belong. Do I know what 3 to the 4th power is? What is it? Okay. Then what? No. Nope. No. Yep. Because there was a plus in the middle, it's multiplication, so they just get written right next to each other. Yeah, that's when I write the fractions when it's minus. If x was a regular number, then I would have multiplied them. I would have actually squared it and solved it out. Okay, so number 17 wants me to solve the equation. How do I solve it? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, now that I've rewritten it, do I know what log base 428 is? Yes. I do not know that off the top of my head, so I plug it into the calculator. Remember to go there, to get it, I go to math, and then I go to choice 0, which is, or, not choice 0, choice A, which is log base, and then I type in the little tiny number, and then I move over and type in the big number. So log base 4 of 28 is 2.40. Questions on 17. Okay. So then number 18 is going to be log base 3, and then 42. 3 point what? 40. Questions on 17 or 18? Okay. On number 19, I want to rewrite this. My log base is going to be my base in general. The 2 that it equals is going to turn into my exponent, and then the stuff inside the parentheses is what I equal this time. Yes, I'm doing the opposite. The word log goes away. Okay, questions on 19. Okay. So 20 works the same way. 3 is going to be my base. 4 is going to be my exponent. And then x minus 2 is what it equals. 3 to the 4th power is 81. And then I want to do what? What? Add 2. 81 plus 2 is 83. Questions on 19 or 20? Okay. What do I want to do for 21 and 22? It tells me I'm writing an exponential function. Plug them in where? Okay? So, that didn't help. I was trying to get rid of the light. Okay, so I go to stat, edit, and then I want to clear out my list so they're blank. What? Then what am I typing in for L1? 1 and 3 I type in my x values, and then for L2 I'm typing 6 and 54. We go second mode, takes you home, and then stat, calc. Okay, so I'm going to hit 0 for exponential, and then go down to calculate. Okay, what does this mean? My X looks like I'm gonna write it out. Okay. So I do the same thing for 22. I go to stat, and then I go to edit. This time I want my L1 to be 4 and 5, and my L2 to be 162 and 486. I go second mode, I go stat, I go to calc, I press 0, I go down to calculate. Yep. Questions here. Questions on anything on the review. Questions about the test. 11. Anything else?